What if I told you the topwater frog is actually not the correct topwater of choice for most fishing situations?
That is a lie.
Well, actually that's the truth. In this video, I'm gonna explain why that is and what the proper lures you should be throwing are. My name's Tyler, and let's talk about it.
Another giant, another giant. Look at that, y'all.
I can't believe what I just caught.
Yes!
The moment you've all been waiting for, my Infinite Outdoors summer drop is finally here. And for those of y'all who don't know, Infinite Outdoors is my merch brand here on YouTube. It's how I connect with you guys as my viewers out in public. And we just launched our summer AFCO collection. So we have AFCO Samurai Sun shirts with a built-in hood. This thing's got SPF protection. We've got my personal favorite fishing shirt. We have the AFCO Yuri. This long sleeve SPF fishing shirt has not only a built-in hood, but also a built-in sun buff to go up over your nose and your face to protect your face from the sun. And to complete the summer drop, we have not one, not two, not three, but 4 brand new hats. We've got 2 brand new leather patch string flat bill hats for you guys who like to, you know, be surfer dudes. What's up? This one here is army green with a cork leather patch, and this one is dark navy with a white leather patch. And if these hats aren't your style, we have 2 traditional Richardson 112 type hats. This here is dark navy with a leather patch, and this one is black with a leather patch. But because it is a summer drop, I don't have many black hats in stock, so if you want one, you gotta get them quick. I am super passionate about this brand, Infinite Outdoors. It has an awesome faith-based meaning. Again, no pressure to support, but if you wanna check it out, I'll have it linked in the video description. Now, let's get back to talking about why the old topwater frog might not be the topwater choice for you. Right here in my hand, I have my Topwater Lures tackle box, and this thing consists of basically any topwater out there. We've got plopper style, walking baits, poppers, wake baits, and of course, topwater frogs, and all of these have an application somewhere, but this video is about why the topwater frog oftentimes is not the best choice, but of course, on the flip side, I'm gonna teach you guys why other topwaters might be a good choice where the frog might not. But first, we're gonna close this up and talk about the components. What makes a topwater frog a topwater frog? The topwater hollow belly frog is made up of an open plastic material with air on the inside and usually a hole on the bottom to kind of squeeze water out of if it becomes waterlogged. It's got some kind of metal weight on the bottom, usually backside, that gets you more casting distance and allows the frog to right itself in the water. So you're not retrieving the frog upside down. Has a little bit of a weight there on the bottom that can allow the frog to sit right side up. It has some kind of skirt material. This is the Strike King Pad Perch right here. It has a thicker, more tail-like looking skirt, but a lot of frogs, as you see here on the screen, have just 2 sides of strands, almost like a jig skirt material, but usually a little bit more rubbery than a jig skirt. And of course, you have to hook the fish, so a topwater hollow belly frog has 2 hooks, usually big, thick, wide gap hooks that are angled up. And that makes this thing a totally weedless presentation. And the way that you hook a bass onto this lure is that when he bites down on it, it exposes those 2 hooks right there, and you give him the business. Got him. Now, one very important thing to keep in mind about the hollow belly frog category is that they have no rattles, they have almost no noise, no vibration. Of course, you can throw a popping frog, but even then, those popping frogs do not make near the amount of noise as a full-size popper or a topwater walking bait. And of course, these things are way more silent, way more stealthy than a buzz bait, than a plopper style. I would say the only topwater that comes close to being as stealthy as a frog in terms of noise is a wake bait. And even then, wake baits oftentimes have a big rattle that as the bait kind of waddles side to side, it goes clunk, 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 clunk. But of course, you clicked on this video because you want me to tell you why you should stop throwing the topwater frog, why this thing is not the best topwater for all applications, even if you love it. And I'm gonna get there in a second, but I do wanna talk about the places that it fits, the places the frog is meant to be thrown first. And the best place you can throw it, you're gonna see it here on the screen, is shallow cover. I'm talking grass, I'm talking wood, I'm talking a mixture of grass, wood, maybe some rocks, skipping underneath docks. If it is not shallow cover, it's not the frog. Now, don't get me wrong. I guarantee somebody out there has caught fish in deep water, not around shallow cover with the topwater frog. But here on this channel, I'm trying to teach you guys to be as effective as possible and go with the high percentage places to catch fish and use the high percentage lures in those places. And a topwater frog around, you know, dirty, deep water, even clear deep water where there's no structure around, I'm just telling you guys, there are other topwaters in this box right here that are better suited than a topwater frog. What you are seeing on your screen right now is me fishing a topwater walking bait, the Strike King Mega Dog, over 12 to 15 feet of water, which is usually not the best topwater depth. I would say best topwater is 8 to 6 feet and shallower. But because this topwater is so loud, causes so much commotion, has big rattles, it is working side to side, it is able to grab the attention of the largemouth bass that are sitting down there on the bottom and draw them out of deep water to come hit a topwater. Now, if you were to try the same location in the same conditions with the silent topwater hollowbelly frog, you would not have near the same amount of success. This is not the best choice. Now, the two most common situations in which I've seen people misuse the topwater frog is, number one, they're fishing it in too deep of water, and we'll talk about that here in a second, some practical examples I've seen, but also to kind of go along with that is that if you are fishing a frog in shallow cover and you get the frog away from the shallow cover, it is time to burn that frog back in and make another cast. So let's start with that situation. The most common place I throw a topwater hollowbelly frog is on shallow vegetation like this. I'm gonna show you a way that I think a lot of people waste time with their frog, and it's this right here. You cast your frog, up into shallow cover, and of course, that's where the frog is designed to go. It is made weedless, so you can throw it up in the junk. And so I throw it up there, I'm working it back, working it through the grass. But as soon as I get there, first of all, it's shallow enough here, the water's clear, I can totally see if a fish is gonna bite it. But even if it was dirty water, and if you get a max of 5 feet away from the cover that you're fishing, it's time to reel in and make another cast. I've got it way over there. I'm gonna hop it a few times. It's kind of still in the strike zone, but I can see this reed patch here in front of me has no fish in it. And so now that my frog is there, I'm wasting time by continuing to fish it in open water. And especially if the water was deep, like let's say you're fishing a lily pad field or an edge of grass, or especially like a grass edge of milfoil or hydrilla or coontail, and you have a nice flat topped out area and then it drops quickly to 5, 10, 15 feet of water. If your frog is off that edge, I'm not saying you can't catch one. Maybe a fish would see it last minute and would come out to eat it. But the majority of the time, you're gonna be wasting your time and efforts by fishing that frog in that open water. And so likewise, if I'm fishing in open water here and I make a cast with the frog, sure, it's only 2 to 3 feet deep out there, but there's nothing to get snagged on. So the topwater frog made sense in the cattails up shallow. But if I'm fishing a topwater frog out there, I might as well throw something with a higher hookup ratio that's not weedless. A walking bait, a wake bait, a topwater popper. Could you catch them out there? Yes, I've caught plenty of fish on a frog that I was fishing the bank, just making casts out there. But I think in terms of deep water, open water, you're best to throw something different. I've seen so many times people fishing ponds that are just making long bomb casts into the middle with their topwater, and I guarantee you 90% of that cast is totally wasted. So that's why I say to stop throwing the frog. I don't mean entirely, I just mean stop throwing it in the unproductive areas. Now, this video was all about the topwater frog in different areas that you should not throw it, that it's not the most effective, but what areas should you throw other topwaters? Where is a plopper good? Where is it bad? Where's a walking bait good? Where is it bad? Well, the good thing is I've made an entire masterclass video talking about every topwater lure out there and where the best and worst places are to throw them, and I will leave that video up here in the corner. Make sure you click that to check it out. My name's Tyler, and we'll see you guys next time right here on TRF.